Senate is about to take a major step in addressing one of President Biden's signature legislative items. Right now, senators are in session on that massive trillion-dollar bipartisan infrastructure bill. Details of what's inside the final text remain scarce because the text isn't complete yet. Despite months of negotiations between moderate Democrats, Republicans, and the White House, this is far from a done deal at this point. But senators involved in the negotiations remain confident this is the best path forward.
Do you think it will be introduced this week? Will it pass this week?
That certainly is my expectation and my hope. I think we will be able to lay down the bill later today and begin perhaps consideration of some amendments. My hope is that we'll finish the bill by the end of the week.
And will it have at least 10 Republican senators to vote for it?
I believe that it will. This bill is good for America.
And here with me now, the chairman of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Oregon Democrat Congressman Peter DeFazio. Congressman, thanks so much for taking time to talk with us today. The House passed a bill you sponsored earlier this month. It was $715 billion in spending, and I know you were hoping that would be a template for the Senate version. The bipartisan group has written its own language, and you've been critical of this bipartisan agreement. Explain to us why.
Well, I set out for several major objectives to rebuild America's crumbling infrastructure, to bring us into the 21st century, not do another iteration of the Eisenhower National Highway Program, but to actually begin to deal with current problems. And so I set out to deal with both climate change, that is, reduce fossil fuel consumption and transportation, the largest single source, to rebuild the system, rebuild it resilient with new materials, last longer, rebuild it resilient to sea level rise, severe weather events, et cetera. And in doing that, create millions of jobs and also add in a program for social equity, which the president wants to deal with areas that were split asunder during the highway building boom of the 60s, 70s. And all those elements are my bill. We're not quite certain what's in the Senate bill. I was engaged yesterday with the White House. My staff was engaged again today with the White House and the Senate. We're trying to get, we haven't seen the text either, but we're trying to get some of our language in.
So you sound somewhat hopeful that this may be more of what you were hoping it would be.
Jessica, it's speculation at this point. I think I'm told that their draft is going to be over. Well, we had a leaked copy, but they say, well, that's not what it's going to be. That was, we got that on Friday. That was 2,500 pages. So, we'll see. There's a problem in dealing meaningfully with climate with the other side of the aisle. Republicans can't say the words climate change. So we're talking about resilience.
And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has said she won't bring that Senate bill to the House floor before the Senate passes a $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. That's the number right now that's floating around that would cover a lot of progressive priorities. I want to listen to some of your colleagues, how they framed this legislative standoff this morning. We'll take a listen.
Can you guarantee her that the reconciliation package will pass?
I can't really guarantee anybody, and I have not guaranteed anybody on any of these pieces of legislation. We would like to do more. Yeah, you can do what you can pay for. This is paid for. Our infrastructure bill is all paid for.
If there is not a reconciliation bill in the House, and if the Senate does not pass the reconciliation bill, we will uphold our end of the bargain and not pass the bipartisan bill until we get all of these investments in. I am not the whip of the Progressive Caucus, but what I can tell you is that it's certainly more than 3, and it is in the double digits, absolutely.
Enough to prevent it from passing?
More than enough.
So, Congressman, we heard there from Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez about that. There's only a 3-vote margin for Democrats in the House. Do you think it's right to tie these bills so closely together? And do you agree with the Congresswoman's take and her opinion that the reconciliation bill should be approved before the infrastructure bill can be taken up?
Absolutely, because we have no guarantees from the Senate that they will even pass a reconciliation bill. We do have apparently enough Republicans to get past the filibuster on transportation infrastructure. That's good. They can send that bill over, but we've got to see reconciliation because that is the biggest part of the president's plan for moving forward, the American Jobs Plan.
And just to be clear for everyone listening, that reconciliation bill would require Democrat-only support, so it would get around that 60-vote filibuster in the Senate. But Congressman, I just want to be clear on what you're saying, that you would withhold your vote for that bipartisan infrastructure bill if reconciliation is not a part of it.
Well, it won't be a part of it.
Well,
There'll be
right.
parallel.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
wanna
parallel,
see,
yes.
We want to see both bills sent over from the Senate. And then we will see how we'll move forward on the bipartisan package. We may want to have a conference, because if we see changes we need to have made, but we have to have both bills in hand because otherwise you're stuck with the filibuster and stupid rule. You're stuck with the Byrd rule, so-called, rule written by a senator dead 11 years, 28 years ago, which prohibits a lot of policy we want from going into so-called reconciliation. So we need to see both packages.
Right. And I want to talk a little bit about the eviction moratorium. I know you've been very vocal about the dire need for millions of Americans to get that eviction moratorium extended. Just for everyone watching, it expired last night. The money is already allocated, billions of dollars, for people facing eviction. Congressman, why has it been so difficult to get an extension passed through Congress, and why hasn't that money been distributed in a more efficient way?
Well, my state is like a poster child for that. They didn't dispense any money. They received money back in February, and for 4 months they did nothing. And now they have tens of thousands of applications pending that they haven't processed. And this goes to both sides. It's rental assistance and the landlords. I mean, we're sensitive to the fact, landlords have mortgages, particularly small landlords. They've got to meet their obligations too. So we want the darn states to get that money out. And we were hopeful to pass another temporary moratorium because the money is there. The states have $46 billion. They just haven't put the money out. Only, I think, 4% has been allocated by the states.
I think it's about $3 billion. Right.
Right, yeah. So $3 billion out of 46. That's pathetic. Now, some states, particularly red states, Republican states, are reluctant to provide the assistance. But my state theoretically wants to get the assistance out, but can't do it. So you've got either reluctance on the part of some states or other states that are just incompetent.
And so what's the solution?
Well, we couldn't get a temporary extension of the moratorium. The CDC, Centers for Disease Control, could extend the moratorium. The White House says, well, we're worried they get challenged in court. So what? That'll take a month or 2 or 3 months to get an injunction. And in that time, hopefully the states will get their act together, get the money out to the renters and to the landlords, so we don't see massive evictions.
All right. Congressman Peter DeFazio, again, thanks for your time. We sure do appreciate it.
Thanks, Jessica. Appreciate the opportunity.